Hello guys, this is me Bharati Kannan. In this video, I am going to explain what other things happen behind the scenes when we type something in the search bar and hit enters. So let's get into this video. In the Excalibur for better understanding, so I take the basic domain structure here. First of all, we need to understand the parts of domain. What are the parts we have in the domain? So yeah, the first thing would be the protocol. You already know protocol. We basically in the website we majorly use two protocols. One is HTTP and another one is HTTPS. The second thing would be the subdomain. The subdomain is we are using www dot which stands for World Wide Web, and also we can use API dot backend URL, and then we are majorly use blog.google.com. These kind of things we are using. So that is a subdomain. The next thing is an actual domain. So it's a unique domain. For example, google.com. Google is a unique name. Why we are using unique name means at the end of the day we need in the particular IP address. So we will see in this video what exactly what we are using the domain. And the fourth point would be the extension, which is dev or .com or .education. So these kind of things we are using. So this is this basic structure of an basic parts of an domain. Let's start visually. The first thing, first thing we are do, basically we are use google.com. Let's consider this google.com. So whenever we type google.com and hit enter, what actually happens? The first thing it checks. First thing we need to convert the particular domain into equivalent IP address. So DNS resolution is happen here. So but before going to a server, so to take its IP address, it checks where it checks cache system. So where I put it cache system. So it's check does the particular domain equivalent IP address is present in the cache or not. There are three types of cache. It checks. The one is browser cache, and then the another one is OS cache. Then the third part is the DNS cache. If it is present, it directly return the IP address. If it not present, so if it is present, like we are using the present or true or whatever else, for simple entry, if it is present, it returns the equivalent IP address. The IP address basically the IP address looks like this. So it returns the IP address. So if it is not present, if you are search in the first time, what actually done? The second step of the process would be DNS resolution. So here is the part. The google.com is converted into its equivalent IP address. So here is the part DNS resolution. Yeah, this is the part. Other google.com will be converted to its equivalent IP address. And after converting the IP address, the next part would be the TCP handshake here. So you already heard about the TCP handshake, but what exactly it means? If you are asking for me, Bharati, what it actually does? So TCP handshake means it's a three-way of handshaking. So there are a lot of jargons roaming in the internet. So in the simple terms, what is three-way handshaking means? I am declaring something like, yeah, I'm declaring this is a server. So this is a client, this is a server. So I'll change the color as well. So there are three jargons we are using. One is sync, another one is acknowledgement. So we are using these kind of things. If you are asking what exactly is this, before making the actual request, it checks does both are used to communicate. What exactly I can say? It checks both confirm the connection for the real data sense. So in the initial, it gives synchronous. It gives sync. Sync means it sends to the database like, hey, I want to connect. It sends like this, connect. After that, one second guys. So after that, the server will give acknowledgement. So what actually acknowledgement? It says, yeah, server is sending, like, it gives synchronous plus acknowledgement. Okay, so what it means, server will send, yes, I am ready. Like these kind of things are server will send. Like server will send, yes, I am ready. And then it will sense, okay, let's connect. This is the three-way handshaking. So then client will be send, okay, let's connect. It sends, okay, let's connect. These are the three-way handshaking. In the simple terms, what actually it means, so it checks both. First of all, it said actual, before sending the actual request, it checks does both of them is communicated. So in the real world example, so we are testing the mic in front of the students. If is, for example, the staff checking the mic, hello, mic testing 1 2 3, then students are sound engineer will tell, yes, your voice is audible. Then staff tell, okay, let's start. These are the handshake, three-way handshaking. Before, in the final conclusion, what actually it means, both of them confirm the connection before the real data sent. This is the concept of three-way handshaking. And the next thing what you need to understand about TCP handshake, if you are sending the data, if you are sending the data to the server, the actual data will be break down into the packets by packets. For example, if I search something like React, I'm just assuming React, so the actual data will be sent into packets. So this kind of the packet will be sent, like the sequence of packet will be sent through the internet. And one more thing, so for example, I change color for better understanding. So if I send the data, it will travels. So during this time, we need to understand sometimes that this data will be come first, this data will be for example, this data will be crashed during the time. What will happen during the exact time? So what will happen, each and every packet have its own sequence number. For example, it have the sequence number of 1, it have the sequence number 2, it have sequence number of 3. If we consider as the 4, so we are considered 4. So first we as client sends the data, then it's received. During the time in the TCP, the acknowledgement based connection is happen. What it means me, if the data is crashed, if we send any of the data to the server, then server sends acknowledgement. If server does not send acknowledgement, then the client understand, okay, the data is not sent properly, so resend the data. These kind of things will happen. That's why the acknowledgement is very important. Now after that, now the connection will be established. The data in the simple terms, I can give the one reference what actually happens in the sense. So I check, so data sends, we are send the data. After that, the data was break down to bytes, and then it's break down to packet. Then we are send. After that, server receive. Yeah, I think this will be clear. After that, what it's reorder the sequence number, then combine all of the things. So this will be happen the behind the scenes of TCP handshake. After TCP handshake, what will happen means, after TCP handshake, the TLS connection will be TLS connection. So What is TLS connection? So TLS connection is very important. So this is the part where actual data is hashed, actual data is encrypted. So for example, if we send hello, it will be encrypted in the form of something like this. We can say unreadable form, unreadable. So this is the important thing for TLS handshake. After that, once the TLS handshake is happened, so it's request to the server. So after TLS handshake, it will request to the server. HTTP request will be sent to the server. For example, the server sends the request of, so we make this blue color for server side only, or else I can make, yeah. So here the HTTP request will be sent. HTTP request. What actually happens here? Here we are asking, give me the Google homepage. We are actually send the request to the server. After that, the server processing the request here. Then the server is processing the request. So we can say server processing the request. What actually do service, if we are sending the request to the backend, so backend is searching or preparing the data to send to the front end client. So after that it's prepare the data. So we are do, basically what happens here, it's preparing the data. After server prepare, you already know, after server send again to the client side. So it's an it gives the response. So the response will be HTTP response. It gives the response here. So we get the response in the form of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. For example, Google sends the data. Google send the data form of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. It sends the data of. After that, if we have, right now we have the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, so we need to paint the actual UI here. So this is the thing. So after getting the response, it will render the actual page. The page looks like something. Yeah, this is the page look like. If we have a search bar, and then we have the text off. So in the simple term, we'll see do welcome to Google home page. Sorry, we get right now we get that this is the actual flow, what happens in the behind the scenes. If you like the way of teaching, if you have any of the thoughts, please let me in the comment section. I will read, I will improve myself. So thanks for watching, have a good day. And before, just sorry for this, so you can take screenshot. This is the basic on workflow, what will happen behind the scenes. So if you have any of the queries, please let me down in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Tata.